Conceived and manufactured in Maine, the home of the original lobster boats. This is the walkthrough video of the Sabre 45 Salon Express. Dan Jones is my name. Welcome to Dan's Boat Life. I like talking about boats. I hope you like watching. So we're going to do a really detailed one here. We're going to go right through the decks, go downstairs. We'll check out the equipment room and the engine room. Keep watching, that'll be at the end. If you want to see how this boat drives in the ocean, we have just done that. Click on the link coming up on the screen right now. This is the style of boat that you use to do serious adventures. It's got, at slow speed, 1,000 nautical miles range, and at higher speeds, or a comfortable cruising speed of 24 knots, 300 nautical miles with a reserve. So this boat will get you places, and it will get you places in comfort. I want to just point out one thing right now. We've come to an anchorage. It's a wavy anchorage. We've just left the generator and the gyro on, so they are operational right now. And we've closed everything up. There's a bit of noise going on with party boats around us. The insulation and the sound deadening on this boat is epic, and that was also evident in the test drive. So come straight forward and check out the Helm, because I suspect this is the style of boat that many people who've done serious sailing in the past would be attracted to. The reason I suspect that is because there comes a time in your life, like, sailing's awesome. I've sailed for 25 years, and you go places, and the feeling of like the exhilaration, the satisfaction that you get when you arrive at a destination, a job well done, that's all good stuff. But the time it takes, you know, Sydney to the Gold Coast, it's 3 days. 3 days, like, you could go to the moon in 3 days, like, seriously. So, like, being able to do it in a day and being able to just day boat your way all the way up the Australian coast and other places in comfort, in seriously, you know, what would be uncomfortable conditions on many boats, is what this Sabre has been designed for, and we just experience that out in the ocean. But the first thing I got to point out is this beautiful leather-wrapped captain's chair. So, if it's not obvious, you know, this is an IPS powered boat. So we've got the IPS Volvo 600s on this boat. So we can park the boat using the joystick in the you know, typical fashion. But the reason why this is mounted up here on my armrest is for comfortable long distance cruising. If you are on a journey of many hundreds of miles, or just doing an 80-mile sprint for the day, you can just set your speed with the throttle, come back here and press steering, which is the top right hand button, and just be on watch and not have to operate the wheel in the traditional fashion. You can just steer the boat by leaning this joystick left and right. So it's really, really comfortable. I've got a footrest that I can deploy as well. And if you want to be in the standing position, you've got oodles of space. This boat, you'll notice when we get downstairs and visit the master cabin, it's built for tall, big people. It's going to be great for all sizes, is what I've kind of noted. So beautiful, stunning timber and stainless steering wheel. This does look to be adjustable hydraulic steering, and we've got the electronic throttle just here. We've got the Volvo gauge for ignition, start, stop just down below the throttle, and the timber works fantastic everywhere you look. Even all the little joins. Hopefully that'll come up on camera, but if it's not, I'm trying to point that out to you. Everything is just exceptionally well done. This is craftsman stuff. This is not mass production that I see on some of the brands that you see me test. It really is fine details, even all these screw heads lining up in the same direction. Somebody cared about that when they put that together, and it shows. So get this dash back in shot, Jed, and let's let everyone appreciate what's going on here. Two very large Garmin displays. We have that on the engine diagnostics at the moment. I have my fuel flow, got my rudder angle indicator, got my temperatures. Everything that you need to monitor the motors was really easy and on a good angle to see. Just below that, we have our quick anchor windlass. It is also operated from the bow. We'll see that eventually, and you can see the sea keeper, I should say, which is just spooling up now and giving us some giving us some stability as well. Horn, navigation, fan, aft bilge, mid bilge, forward bilge and cockpit just there. These are our windscreen wiper controls. Note that you can individually operate them. That is really great to see. I don't really like the ones when you just have one button and they all go at the same time. And we've clearly got speeds as well, wiper wash. So that's just designed for clearly a boat that's going to go places. ACR, what's that, Jed? I can't...
Overhead spotlight.
Oh, that's the spotlight.
Remote
That's the spotlight control. Okay, we'll see that when we get upstairs. So just go back a little bit, Jed, and let's get all this into shot so everyone can see. You've got facility for some of your papers and charts, I suppose, would go down here. We've got a 240 outlet just here. That's probably the air conditioning, because it is. That's the VHF. This is the Fusion stereo speaker. That's the windlass up down, but we can do it through the quick because this one's been optioned. And the Fireboy just here. Don't know what that is, so there you go. The other thing is the actual design. So just go out a little bit, Jed, and get all this in shot. You can't have a boat like this without having a side opening helm door. This one does have that. Very solidly constructed. I'm going to close it again because I'm enjoying the air conditioning. But just to give you an idea, one step and then two, and out you go. Plenty of places to hold on to and lots of stability here with the rails. But this boat has inherent stability already. So even without the gyro on, this thing's rock solid and passing through the waves incredibly level. So if you weren't too sure on your feet, you're going to be comfortable on a boat like this. I'm going to close that and enjoy the air conditioning, and then let's go have a look at the saloon. So Jed, you go there and point back, and let's let everyone appreciate what's going on here. The timber work and the joinery is something that's really screaming out to me immediately. The roof lining is all leather wrapped with this timber in between. We've got lots of down lights, and then we've got some speakers inset just here. The other thing is starting your day or finishing your day on this boat is really simple. So, you know, just blocking out the UV is a case of just deploying all these blinds. There was just one cover on the windscreen up the front that I had to remove, and just do all the blinds and you're ready to rock and roll. Obviously, you could remove the cover off the table in the back seat, but you might actually leave that on if you're just going out for a quick blast through the day. So check all this out. I think an adult couple wanting to do serious adventures is what this boat is probably primarily suited to. What do I mean by serious adventures? Yes, all your summer day boating like what we're doing right now, but also driving the boat all the way to the Whitsundays and spending 6 weeks on board is what this boat would be very well suited to as well. Inviting other adult couples out to join you for a week here and there, or your grandkids, it would be really, really well suited from the amount of storage, the design, and the equipment that I've seen on board, which I'm going to show you. That's what I believe would be an ideal scenario for this boat. Put it this way, 5 fridges and 1 ice maker. It's got 5 fridges on board. That's awesome. So, air conditioning outlets here. We've got this wraparound sofa. This is on a high-low just here. Beautiful timber work as we see everywhere. I assume that there might be a cushion that goes in here because we do also have a pop-up TV on the port side at the leading edge of this lounge just here. So this lounge is, it's the full length of the saloon area just here, but if you deploy the TV, that's going to pop up out of here, and you could actually lie on this couch here or sit on the L shape and enjoy that. We'll get to the galley a little bit later because I want to show you guys out the back of the boat because it's pretty cool. So, drink holders are all around the boat. You're really not wanting for drink holders. I've been using them because I have my coffees. First thing I want to show you, now there's a couple of buttons just here. This is glass, so insulation's great, air conditioning's comfortable, but sometimes you want to open it all out. Hopefully you can see, how cool is this? This is James Bond stuff, I love it. So, seriously strong stainless steel surrounds, and then you open this heavy solid door, which is on a gas strut, opens itself like that, and then it's locked. We're transformed. Here we are. So we've got the shore shade deployed, and How easy was that? Is my point coming across? I hope it is. Like, if you've come from sailing and think about all the work that you have to apply to just drop it, well, getting to your destination first, but then packing up all the sails, tidying the boat, dropping anchor and setting yourself up for lunch. When you move into a boat like this, it's so much simpler. You've bought so much time back for yourself, and you've also bought comfortable nights, because you're not having to spend nights out at sea bashing around. You're probably on anchor or in a marina and you're quite comfortable. So this is the aft lounging area. Good quality upholstery just here. Nice table. This one seems to be fixed. I'm sure you could do drop down if you wanted. There is storage underneath here because we've got all the covers that we took off the seats underneath there. Engine access is underneath us. We'll do that towards the end of the video, but just come around towards the back of the boat first. This boat does have a hydraulic tender deployment system. We took it off for the shoot, but I've got to say, I think I prefer it. So a lot of boats of this style, you're going to see a tender in a cradle on the platform just here. This one, it actually has a cradle that hangs out the back of the boat and then lowers and raises. So these particular owners have got quite a substantial rigid inflatable with an alloy bottom and a decent Yami motor on the back, tiller steered. So they could get 6 people in it if they wanted to, but they could definitely get up on the plane with 2 people and a bucket load of equipment. So going back to that, you know, wanting to go to the Whitsundays, pulling up on coral reefs, that sort of stuff, or going across coral, that's going to be really, really practical. Couple of small cleats here, which is really just for tying up the tender. The shore power has got its own retractable device, so it actually just deploys out of this big chunky stainless steel fitting just here, and it's got a it's clearly got a wheel down below because it electrically deploys. Your flag, couldn't find the flag today, so I would have put that up otherwise, but that's where that mounts, and this is obviously rod holder here and here. Nice, you know, very stylish stainless steel cleats just here, grab handles. This is how you deploy the cable. You've got your town water just here. I think that's some lights just there, but also just pay attention to the quality. Got a bit of salt on it from our ocean run, but look at this stainless. Look at all that. It's just really, really good stuff. There's no cutting corners on this boat. Everywhere I look, it's just been done exceptionally well. So we got, that's diesel just here. That's just a little foot pad if you need to get someone on and off the boat from that part of the boat. We'll go around the bow. Yeah, we will go around the bow actually. We'll do that. I just want to quickly show you the barbie area. So just got little electric cooktop just here. Corian bench top, small sink, and below us, an ice maker. So ice in here, and then we actually have 3 fridges in the galley, which we will go and have a look at in a second. You can control the stereo here. Another detail I want to point out, because I did notice this when we were maneuvering the boat out of the marina. Look at the glass just here, this curved piece of glass. Imagine how complicated this would be to manufacture, and how so many builders would actually just do a big chunk of fiberglass here and a flat piece of glass and a flat piece of glass there. But this just gives you a wonderful outlook when you are maneuvering the boat or reversing it into the dock, because your loss of visibility is virtually nothing. You just have these 2 vertical pillars with the aircon outlets in them, and then you've just got wonderful viz everywhere. You know, this stainless here is nice, good grab hold. And let's come forward. So the other thing, look how wide these side decks are. They're huge. You know, I'm not a big bloke, but big blokes are not going to have a problem with this. You've got plenty to hold on to here and here. You could slide your bum on there. The boat doesn't really want to rock anyway. You can see all your ventilation for the engine bay in there. Midship cleats, well, you've got 2 of them. So there's one here and another one forward. Come up the front, Jed, and let's check all this out. Now, these particular owners, I think it's kind of sensible for Australia. So you can get teak gunnels just here, but they've just decided to delete that and go for the glass. It looks really good, and for longevity in our climate, it makes sense. So you just have this teak strip just here, which is very stylish. And from a maintenance perspective, we've got good old fiberglass decks. It's grippy here, and then you've got smooth just there. So really, really practical and kind of design that's just going to work well for long periods of time in this country. But here we go, more detail, more exceptional quality, dual bow roller. Look at the stainless. I love good quality stainless. This is great. We did anchor this boat from the Helm, but you can operate it with these 2 foot buttons just here and here. And we've also got a deck wash just there. And then these lockers, you know, they're probably only 1 metre deep, but they're good for, you know, little bits and pieces, covers. You'd put small fenders in there, but the boat's actual fenders are quite huge, so we'll see those when we get into the engine bay. They're the world's biggest fenders. A couple of bow cleats there and the obligatory Sabre flag up the front. But this space, yeah, you could lounge up here if you really wanted to get some sun and have a great time. And due to the boat's stability, you're going to enjoy yourself wherever you are. This boat's been fitted with a fleur. Check out that horn. We're going to have to toot that, Jed. I think that's a must. I don't think I've tested a boat with 3 horns like that before. The Garmin radar. We've got the spotlight. There's the navigation, VHFs. I think I can see an omnidirectional TV antenna behind that, some GPS as well. We've got the manual Lumar opening hatch as well, so we can get some natural ventilation if you want air flowing through when you're at anchor, as opposed to the air conditioning. That's possible. And looking at the amount of space here, you could absolutely put surfboards, stand-up paddle boards, etc. up here if you wanted. You could quite, you know, look how solid this is. If you needed to retrofit to put some roof racks, I'm sure that would be an option. So, water in just here, waste out just here. We've got 2 toilets on this boat, which we're going to see when we get downstairs. Here's the aft midships cleat, just here, drained, access into the motors. We'll do that later on in the video. Now, I just want to say, this is a privately owned boat. Thank you to the owners for allowing us to do this with your beautiful piece of kit. I do appreciate this. I'm not going to open all the cupboards and doors because I don't think that's very respectful, considering you've got all your own stuff in there. So it won't be like all my other videos where I go through everything, but I just want to extend a big thank you to the owners of this boat for allowing us to have a look through. It's not, I really do appreciate it. You know, it's great when people lend us their boats. So, got a drawer in here, another drawer there, air conditioning outlet there. This is the most awesome equipment room that I've seen on a boat of this size. It's epic. We'll get to that. The galley is just down one little step there, so you don't feel isolated from the rest of the saloon or from the Helm at this galley. I would be really happy preparing a cup of coffee at 24 knots, sitting off Port Stephens on my way to the Gold Coast, because I've got views everywhere. I've actually got air conditioning blowing out of that vent just there, just keeping me comfortable. So this is great, but we've got microwave just here. This just lifts up like so. We've got 1 fridge here, 2 more fridges here, and then lots of storage, pull-out bin, dual electric cooker just here, and then more storage for all your other salts and peppers and bits and pieces. And there's fiddles in lots of places. So we've got some fiddles up here to store more bits and pieces. In terms of the electrical panel, that is actually just here. Nice and handy to the Helm. We've got 240, 12 volt generator operation, and the master vault just there. Underneath these stairs, every single stair has got storage, and then below the galley we have quite a large equipment room. We'll cut to some B-roll so you can see that, with a water maker in there. So there's a water maker, and there's some clever little drawers which make good use of the available space. So come on in here. I think I want to show you the guest accommodation first, because it's really impressive. So get in here, Jed, and just get all this in shot. So this is currently laid out with the 2 singles. We've got 1, 2, 3 drawers, little nook just here with some charging for your phones, and we've got some reading lights, and we've got a decent amount of hanging storage. We have air conditioning venting into this cabin right now, but we can just get natural ventilation through these proper big solid opening ports with their own blinds, so you can knock out the sun if you choose. We've got an air conditioning control inside this cabin, and we also have a door forward to get into the day head, and there's also there's access from the companionway there should you need. This deck hatch opens facing forward, I think I saw, and that'll suck some more air in. But the coolest thing about this, see the two singles? Okay, yeah, great for kids. See if I can press the right button. Notice something? So normally when you operate these bed systems, there'll be some silly ugly track off to one side, or there's long complicated maneuver to turn this into a double. What did that take, 15 seconds? I did that in like about 15, I'll go back, here you go, count. Like, that was so easy. So, you know, when you need to quickly turn it into a double because your grandkids have gone and your old mates from high school have arrived and it's now an adult situation, it's totally doable. So I think that's great. And also the headroom in here is epic. It really is impressive. You know, this is a guest cabin. It's not the master. So that's great. Now the other thing is the companionway, the walkway here. It's really wide. You know, there's so much space here and quite a lot of head height. So if you were a larger person or just wanting to enjoy more space, you totally can. This door is the widest door I've seen on a boat of this style. So come in and let's check out the master. Beautiful air conditioning wafting through here right now. So I've got cupboards, storage on either side, fiddles on top of them, so you can put things on top and they're not going to fall out of bed. Near the reading lights up the end, you've got some charging for your phone, so you can put your bits and pieces there, and you've got reading lights, and you can sit up in bed and then see behind the bed head there's that little space for your throw cushion. So when you go to bed at night, you probably put your throw cushions up there or even on top of these, and then the bed's ready for the evening. And then each person can slide out of bed quite easily and go to the loo without bothering the other person, because you don't need to roll over one another. So you have the hanging on starboard, and then you've got these drawers on port, and then you've got these little lockers here and here. You've got his and hers. We have opening ports on port and starboard, and we have a deck hatch in the middle, which would also be an escape hatch in an emergency. The other thing, I noted that these lights, they seem to dim as well. I'm not going to do it right now, but in one of the other cabins, you just hold your finger on the button and you can dim them. There's a flat screen TV on the port side, and underneath this hatch just here, you've got access to your sump pump, and you can also see the 23 degrees of dead rise, which is really evident when you're bashing through the ocean. But if you look in there, you can actually see, because it is in the mid-section part of the boat, it's just quite evident, the quality of the construction just there. So the masterhead, it's on port, it's got a separate shower. They are electric freshwater flush toilets, and then plenty of storage, loo roll holder. It's air conditioned as well, so the comfort is awesome, and we have that opening stainless steel port just there as well. I think it's time to go check out this equipment room. So come up here and have a look at this. This is where a style of boat like this really sets itself apart. I'm just going to stand up. Hopefully you're getting some perspective, and get the camera down a little bit lower if you need to, Jed, because I want everyone to see this. This is massive. So this area is air conditioned as well. We've got washer dryer in here. We've got 2 more fridges. We've got storage. You know, you see the owner's got some rods in here, access into the bilge. So this really does facilitate long cruising. It really does. So, you know, you can be doing your slow speeds and getting your 1,000 nautical mile ranges, or going at your fast speeds and getting your 300 nautical mile ranges. But we've got a water maker, we've got the gyro, we've got the generator, we've got 5 fridges, we've got the washing and the drying. We're going to be really, really comfortable wherever we go, and in the hot climates, having the views from every part of the saloon and the Helm and the Galley, you can enjoy yourself no matter what the weather's doing. So that's pretty impressive. And you don't have to have this setup down here. You can actually do some minor changes if you wanted to set it up slightly differently. So it's all very doable. Okay, let's go and have a look in the engine bay. Okay, so here we are down in the engine bay, and the first thing worth noting is the huge amount of space you have down here. Everything's incredibly well laid out. I can see insulation on all the walls, but just forward of me is the gyro. So this is the Seakeeper gyro, that's water cooled. Aft of me on the center line, I'll just keep following where the camera's going. So this forward bulkhead is power distribution. We have 2 tanks on this boat, one on either side, and you can see we've got the big Raycor fuel filters on either side. We've got the some more electrical distribution and batteries just here. We've got our Fireboy system on the bulkhead over on the starboard side. You can see I've stored some of the fenders just at my feet. They're huge and they just go really well just here after you come down this 4-step ladder. Both of the motors, you've got quite a considerable amount of access on either side. They're the Volvo IPS 600s, and then the pod drives are aft of that. And as I was saying before, the generator on the center line, with access on port and starboard. So from a operational perspective, you know, calling in your mechanic to service the boat's not going to be a problem, but doing servicing and checks of your own is also totally feasible on this boat. Okay, in here, nice little deck locker, great place for your fins and all your water stuff, goggles, etc. There's another one, same place on the other side. Just want to say, guys, if this content is useful to you, if you use it to buy boats, and if you want to get it out to other people, please give us a like. Share it around. I'd really appreciate that. I do want to keep doing more of this sort of stuff, and I hope you enjoy it and get some value from it. So thank you. Sabre 45 Salon Express, $1.38 million base boat. So yeah, by the time you drive away in Australian, she's probably going to be a $2 million Australian dollar boat. This is at the very top echelons. This boat is something that you would dream for a lifetime of owning. So if you're looking for a boat to do epic, long distance, comfortable cruising, slow or fast, if you're looking for a boat to do really, really great day boating, and if you're looking for a boat that's going to look after you, really take this boat, the Sabre 45, seriously, because this thing, it's built with care, and I can tell that it is. Yeah, so if that's you, get on to Jed from E Marine, check it out. If you want to compare it to something similar, click on the link coming up on the screen right now.